Welcome back, everybody. Joining us from Washington with a look at Axios AM editor-in-chief for Axios, Nicholas Johnston. Nick, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Talk to us about Axios' one big thing today.
Yeah, the one big thing today is the end of President Trump's first-term domestic agenda. He got a win on the tax bill earlier this year, but don't expect anything else to happen in Congress. Remember when we used to talk about entitlement reform or an infrastructure bill? None of those things are in the cards with narrow Republican majorities in the House and Senate, and this is a midterm year. We're shifting to campaign mode.
So given that gridlock that you just described there, what's the soonest you think D.C.'s gridlock could possibly break?
Right. Don't look for it to happen in the midterm elections. Republicans we talk to still expect the Democrats to probably take the House, giving the majority there, although the Republicans will probably hold on to the Senate. But a Democratic majority in the House will shift the focus from legislation to investigation. Look for them to lead probes into the Trump administration. All of the things that they've been complaining about as a minority party, they'll go after on the majority party. So legislation won't be a thing again until probably 2021 if we can get a Democratic president and Democratic House, or Trump gets reelected and Republicans take control.
So as we've seen so far, the president is not going to let up, despite what you're reporting.
Right.
What is his game plan to accomplish part of his agenda?
Right. Well, what Trump is actually shifting his focus to is more international affairs, something that the president can act sort of with impunity without the approval of Congress a lot. We've seen that recently in his focus on the North Korean summit. We've seen in a lot of the action, controversies over trade, whether tariffs will be implemented on certain kinds of things. And we're going to see that sort of coming up with the NATO summit later this month. And of course, the president is planning a meeting with Vladimir Putin later this summer as well. So Trump's focus is shifting from domestic, where he's been constrained by Congress, to international affairs, where he's a little more free of a hand.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the United States' international agenda and relationships, because it's been a bit of a rocky month for the president. How do European leaders feel about Trump with this escalating trade war between them, the rift with Canada, the tensions with China?
Yeah, we've talked to a lot of European diplomats recently, and they say that relationships with the United States are probably at a low for as long as many of them have been around, certainly over decades. We can look back at that G7 summit in Canada recently and how contentious that was, about sort of the fighting between Prime Minister Trudeau and Trump afterwards over Twitter and on television. And diplomats are sort of concerned that we could have a follow-up to that at the NATO summit in Brussels later this month. If that's another one, that could continue to strain the U.S.-Europe relations, particularly in relation to Germany. President's been criticizing Angela Merkel a lot on Twitter and on television about the crime rates in Germany. That relationship is probably at a low point in the post-war era.
All right, Nicholas Johnston live for us in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much. Of course, we're going to be reading Axios AM in just a bit. And to all of our viewers out there, you too can sign up for the newsletter by simply going to signup.axios.com.
All right. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.